Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series Maidens of Might, Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch comes with several accessories, comes with another cape and another alternate face to the one that we were looking at with Captain Marvel. This one I held off putting on Captain Marvel's accessories to Odin because I feel like this one might be the better one of the two, and I'll show you guys the difference when we get this out of packaging. Scarlet Witch also comes with a couple of energy weapons, little energy constructs, and it looks like she comes with a staff. Perhaps that would be Odin's. The side of the package features, once again, Scarlet Witch. The other side features Captain Marvel, also sporting the mohawk. So I'm kind of glad I went with that face versus the one that was also packaged with her. The back of the packaging features both figures, both Maidens of Might. The read-up says, whether commanding cosmic energy or hex magic, these heroes wield massive power. Down below the 7 figures from this wave, we have our Iron Fist, we have Machine Man, Sentry, we also have Hawkeye, Thor, Captain Marvel, and Scarlet Witch. I guess you really only need, what, 4 figures? Torso, legs, 5. Torso, legs, arms, and then the head. So 5 figures, though you do get 7. To check out more, you can go to www.hasbro.com/Avengers. If you want to see more Avengers action from Hasbro. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Marvel Legends Infinite Series Maidens of Might, Scarlet Witch. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more heading your way. Stay tuned. Well, there's really a lot to touch base on in this video. We already have a couple of accessories to look at with Scarlet Witch, of course, the Scarlet Witch herself, but there's a considerable amount of Odin and Allfather that we can have a look at here. Let's bring in where we've left off for Odin. We've got the 2 legs, the arms, and the torso already in place. Now we looked at, just going to get a headless Odin to stand right here for a second. We've already had a look at Captain Marvel, who, actually we'll put him right here. We already had a look at Captain Marvel that came with this head right here. And you've got like a bandaged, patched eye Odin here. And then you've got this one right here. Now this one would be Scarlet Witch, this one would be the one that came with Captain Marvel. So, I mean, really, there's a big difference between the two. This one's not bad. I love the look of this sculpt on the face here, but you know what? Part of me thinks this one's the cooler looking design. Just saying. And then equally so, we do comparisons on the capes. The capes are pretty much identical, just different color. One's burgundy, one's blue, but other than that, it's pretty much the exact same color. So then decisions, what we can do here. We're going to leave the capes off just for a second. I'm going to take, I think I'm actually going to go with the, well actually, you know what, for the sake of comparisons, I'm just going to kind of put his head on top, just like that, show you guys what it looks like with the other Odin head. It's not bad, but personally, I'm going to go with this one right here. Just my preference. I think it's just a cooler looking head sculpt. Yeah, look at that. This one says, don't mess with me. This one also says, don't mess with me either. This one just says, more so, don't mess with me. And then from there, you can either go with blue cape Odin, or you can go with red cape Odin. It's entirely up to you. Now, some would say, oh, well, you know, this head, you need to go with the blue, you need to go with the red. I don't really care. So I'm gonna actually use the red. That's just my preference. It doesn't have to be your preference too. If you want to use the blue one, you can use the blue one. But we're gonna line it up, peg it into place. Bada bing, you guessed it, bada boom, you've got yourself Odin. So Odin came with an axe from Captain Marvel. However, with Scarlet Witch, you get this long staff. And that might be my preferred choice to display with Odin. Equally so, there was still the sword that came with Thor. I can also display Odin with that. If you want to display him with the axe, you can certainly do that. So there's Odin. Not going to touch too much on this guy right now because we're going to do a video separate for him. So we'll just put him to the side. Now, having a look at Scarlet Witch. Wow, what a great looking figure. I said this with Machine Man, and I said this with Sentry. She could maybe be my favorite figure from this set. Just saying. I know I love the other two so much, but this, first of all, is the best Scarlet Witch I think we have gotten. Luckily, her cape also helps to support her too, because she has high heels on. High heels on is not really helping this figure to stand. She does, granted, have peg holes on the undersides of her feet, but she doesn't come with a display stand. I have issues with her legs being a little bit loose, but luckily the cape, if you kind of prop the cape back, it does a pretty good job of holding the figure up. She does also come with these, a couple of little magical attachments. And I'm not quite sure. I think they actually just clip on. I think they just clip onto her wrist like that. That may or may not be correct. Kind of just do that. This one here, you can kind of just clip onto her wrists. Just like that. I mean, it's a soft plastic. I mean, as you can probably see, you have to be a little careful because you can get a little bit of a stress mark when you start moving it. I mean, you can get something like this. You can do probably a better job than what Spot's just done there, but she doesn't come with also either alternate hands, so just pretty much you have to kind of just finagle these little attachments well enough that you can get her to properly hold them. This one seemed to do a lot better than this one right here, unless I'm doing it wrong. It is possible. Maybe this actually, because there's a smaller, see, okay, there's a smaller piece too. There's a smaller ring and a larger ring. That's good enough. You get the idea. I like these. These would be likely what I'm going to display her with. There's the back of her cape. And we'll just take these guys off. They don't really like to... There we go. They don't like to really come off that well. As for her face, I think her face is, again, one of the best Scarlet Witches we've gotten. We did get the Toybiz Scarlet Witch, which was okay. It had the issue with the body, though, and Toybiz female bodies were disastrous. The male bodies were good, but the female bodies left something to be desired. The coloring on this one is quite nice. She's got the pink in the high thigh area, and then she's got the thigh-high red boots. She got like a red corset, and of course the red gloves. She does a lot of things well. I love the sculpt on her hair too. She's got they put a darker wash in the hair just to kind of bring out some of those details. Also put a bit of a darker wash in her cape. I like the flow of her cape too. That how it droops down like this as opposed to it just being straight at the top there. She's a very clean looking figure as well. And as you can see, yeah, she doesn't stand the greatest. Display stand would be a benefit to have with this particular figure. Female figures are kind of hit or miss. Miss Marvel, or excuse me, Captain Marvel right there, stands fine because she has flat feet. Scarlet Witch doesn't have that, sadly. She has the high heels, so getting her to stand is a little more problematic. There's the two figures there, the mighty maidens of magic. There they are right there. When it comes to Scarlet Witch's articulation, well, she does have the same as Miss Captain Marvel. I keep wanting to say Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. Her head does swivel. You'll notice, though, when you move the head, the hair really becomes a problem. To move the head, it's almost as if the hair wants to push the head off. But it does rotate, hinges up and down slightly. She does have hinged socket shoulders, so they rotate out, forward and back. A swivel and bend at the elbow. Also a swivel and hinge in the hands. She has the upper torso ball joint. Allows lots of movement there. And then her legs go forward, back, out. Swivel at the thigh. Nice double bend at the knee there. And a hinge and rotation in the foot. Ugh. Spot always does this. He's reviewing something and then he thinks to himself, I wish I had a display stand, something I could quickly display her, because that's probably the way I'm going to display her. She's a great looking figure though. If I could recommend any of the figures that we've looked at over the course of these videos, probably Scarlet Witch would be near the top. I like Machine Man just as a little side soft spot, but Scarlet Witch really is the figure to go with. For that reason, I'm going to give Scarlet Witch here a 9. Today's toy spot, we were having a look. That's a great pose. Today we're having a look and actually finishing our looks at the All-Father figure wave from Marvel Legends. We're finishing the reviews with Scarlet Witch, and right after that we're going to be looking at Odin. So even though we are finished technically this line, we still have one more figure to look at, and that would be Odin, or All-Father. Today's toy spot, though, we're looking at Scarlet Witch, a beautiful looking figure. Definitely would recommend picking her up. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. I'll see you next time.